Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the Congress, I speak tonight for the dignity of man and the destiny of democracy. At times, history and fate meet at a single time, in a single place, to shape a turning point in man's unending search for freedom. There is no Negro problem. There is no Southern problem. There is no Northern problem. There is only an American problem. What is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Hello, my name is Brenda Alexis Priestley Jackson, and it's indeed an honor to talk with you today on the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. I'm a fourth-generation Jacksonville resident, your former school board member, and candidate for clerk's position here in Duval County. 50 years ago today, we afforded wide-range remedy for not only people of color, but women as well, to participate in our electoral process in the United States of America. That is a right that none of us should take for granted. Blood, sweat, and tears were passed for us to take advantage of this right, and it opened a platform so that we not only have policies, but practices in place to afford all of us the quality of life that we want in the United States of America. The Voting Rights Act is of particular significance because it afforded affirmative obligations and an affirmative remedy. And what does that mean? Much like the Reconstruction Amendments at the end of the 18th century, the Voting Rights Act said if you don't allow citizens to vote, these are the remedies that are in place. No right is enforceable unless we have a remedy to address it when it's violated. We must be ever mindful at the time that America is becoming the greatest melting pot in the world, that we have rights in particular groups that are discrete minorities that still have not been able to actualize their full potential in the United States. It's only when we elect folks that have a passion, heart, commitment, and mind to the issues that affect the least of these that we can all actualize the full dream of American citizenship. Again, it's an honor to talk with you today on the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, and I would encourage all of us to use our voice through our vote and to make certain we make a difference for future generations.
Hi, my name is Betty Hosendorf. I'm a former state senator for the state of Florida. I served in the Florida Senate for 10 years. One of the things that, to me, that is significant about the Voters' Rights Act of 1965 is that if you look at the number of African Americans that have been elected to significant offices since that time, you will see what a great need there was for that act. I hope and pray that nothing ever changes it, because voting is our right, and voting is our only way to get our justice in this country.
Hi, I'm Tracy Davis, the former Deputy Supervisor with the Supervisor Elections Office here in Duval County. 13 years ago, I was given the opportunity to work for the Supervisor Elections Office, and I gladly accepted. But today, we're here to celebrate the anniversary of the signing of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. One simple piece of legislation that gave the opportunity to every American of color the right to vote. A simple yet powerful opportunity. Let's talk about the right to vote. Here in the state of Florida, as well as Duval County, the right to vote and the ability to exercise your right to vote is as simple as 1, 2, 3, and takes probably less than 10 minutes for any voter to choose to do so. A voter can call our office and request a ballot by mail, or they can vote early at one of the early voting locations for up to 14 days, as well as just simply wait to most of our favorite Election Day, where those sites are open for 12 hours. Voting is accessible. There is absolutely almost no excuse that a voter can have or may have with their inability to say they can vote. It's up to us as a community. It's up to us as a sister, a mother, or father to encourage our family and our friends and our children to exercise their right to vote. Many of us have had family members to sacrifice for this right. And we have to explain, we have to engage, we have to incite the reason why we vote. The most important reason why we vote is to build a better community and to build a better future for the generations that will come behind us. We can't forget why we celebrate the signing of the 1965 Voting Rights Act, because without it, we would not be able to exercise our right to vote. And that is one of the most powerful and simplest acts we can conduct by simply allowing our voices to be heard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the City of Jacksonville, Duval County. I'm Gwen Jenkins Chandler, better known as Dr. Gwen, with the slogan, "We all win with Dr. Gwen." First thing I'd like for you to do is to consider that just 100 years ago, the Civil War was won. But yet, in 2015, we are talking about and celebrating the Voting Rights Act. Just think, when Lyndon Johnson, our president, signed the Civil Rights Act, he was signing that, and then it became the impetus for the Voting Rights Act of August 1965. This Voting Rights Act gave us the right to vote. And I say us collectively, because the Voting Rights Act was designed to give all people, all Americans, the right to vote, regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual orientation. We all had the right to vote. Think with me a minute and think about the three amendments, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. All of those amendments had some bearing on the right to vote, which was the Voting Rights Act. But yet, Lyndon Johnson signed that to eliminate some of the things that we now call Jim Crowism. There have been significant things happening to us as we look at this Voting Rights Act. I can vote now. My grandmother could vote then. My mother could vote then. But yet, people were still not giving blacks as a group the right to vote. The significant roles that we are now playing have given me, Gwen Chandler, the opportunity to serve you in the Jacksonville City Council. Just think, I was elected because of this in 1965 to be the first black African American, if you will, to be elected to the Jacksonville City Council as an at-large City Council member representing all of Duval County.
Good afternoon. My name is Pauline Drake,